Campaign apparently now settled. Governor Romney releasing his 2011 tax return and a summary of what he paid in taxes over the past 2 decades. Who can forget the Democratic leader on the Senate floor taking the floor this summer, saying that he had a good source telling him the governor had not paid any taxes for a decade. So does Senator Reid owe Governor Romney an apology? David Drucker, associate politics editor, Roll Call. How you doing, bro? Good morning to you.
Hey, good to see you, Bill.
Think that apology's coming?
I think it's sort of irrelevant. I think Harry Reid, if he's watching us right now, is dancing a jig that we're still discussing his attack. I don't think there was ever any doubt that his attack was probably not rooted in fact, probably not rooted in a source who knew enough about Mitt Romney's private financial information that he'd be able to even make that claim. But the whole point, especially when the majority leader of the Senate made the claim, was to make sure that the issue of Mitt Romney's tax returns was still in the news. At the time he made the claim, it had sort of drifted off the front pages. And I think Mitt Romney, in a sense, foolishly ended up responding to Harry Reid's charge by assuring all of us that he, of course, had paid taxes. And Harry Reid got exactly what he wanted, and he still is getting what he wants.
All right, so here is the effective tax rate in 2011. For Governor Romney, 14.1%, donated at least $4 million to charity. An average effective tax rate of more than 20% over the past 19, 20 years there, it says. Never paid less than 13.66%. Where does this go? Or is it dead now?
Well, I think it probably is a dead issue. We're very close to the campaign. I do think the Romney campaign, way back in the spring, could have handled the tax returns issue better so that it wasn't so much a thorn in its side. But the country's pretty polarized, pretty politically divided. And I don't think that the fact that we now have all of the tax information we're going to get is going to change things much. It probably wasn't going to change things much to begin with. It's just that the governor could have saved himself a lot of political headaches in the months of July and August. But at this point, this campaign is either going to be decided by Mitt Romney making a successful case that things can be better and here's how I'm going to do it, or he's not going to get that done and the president's going to be able to successfully make the case that if you stick with me, we're going to end up getting where you want and you don't trust the other guy because he wants to take the country backwards. I mean, these are two competing messages. Whoever makes it effectively ends up, I think, winning the race, which is still very winnable and losable for either candidate, despite the fact that the president's in front.
I think you make an excellent point there on that. One thing that struck me in the 60 Minutes interview last night when Governor Romney was talking about his tax returns is, that was money I've already been taxed at the highest level. I'm not quite sure many folks understand that. And I'm not quite sure something like that even breaks through.
Again, I think it's noise, and if I were Mitt Romney and I'm asked again by a reporter like me about his tax returns, I would simply give an answer that I have a tax reform plan that is designed to help create jobs and raise the amount of take-home pay people have. This is the message he needs. Obviously, Bill, what you're referring to is the fact that as Americans, we're taxed on our income at whatever the rate is, 30%, 25%, whatever. Then if we invest the money we have left over and we make money on that investment, we're taxed at a capital gains rate. That's around 15% or whatever it is. And that's the thinking behind the different rates.
Yeah, understood.
But again, most people don't necessarily think about this either way, even for their own investments. They probably don't think about it. The reason Romney's paying a lower effective tax rate right now is he doesn't have a salaried job with income tax. He's making money on his investments. But again, politically, it's how you handle it.
I got you. Your bigger point is well taken, and that is Americans are going to vote based on how they feel they're doing today and what sort of direction they are headed tomorrow. Thank you, David. Good to see you today. Okay.
Good to see you.